Hey, what's going on, everybody? You know how we do at this point, so let's just get into it. Today, the video is actually um, centered around like, what the fuck should we do? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we could circle around with everything that he is doing, Trump, everything Elon is doing every day. And the point, I believe, is just to distract us, to make us feel overwhelmed, and to make us like kind of scattershot so that we're not concentrated on things that we can do. So I feel like this video is just really concentrated on two things, the things that we can do and what is your line of action. So let's just get into it. So I'll just start with the fact is, I feel like what we should start engaging with people with, and that includes us on an individual level when we're speaking to people in power, when interviewers are speaking to politicians and everything, is that, and I said this in a previous video, but I think I really need to reinforce it, is what is our line? Right? What is the line in the sand of when this happens, then this? You know what I'm saying? Because I think what is happening right now, and I feel like is the point, is that so many lines are being crossed, right? Even lines that we didn't even know that they were lines for us, right? But I feel like even with goals and actions, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I think a lot of people struggle with like, goal setting overall. It's because we just have these amorphous things in our mind and we're not setting something that we can really be held to account for to actually change our course of action. And so I'm just asking you to determine and ask some of these other politicians, like, what is their line? Is the line when he goes after Social Security, even though Elon Musk has literally said that he feels it needs to be eliminated, and Donald Trump and every other Republican said they weren't going to touch it? Is the line when they disband their Department of Education? Is the line when they say HBCUs are unconstitutional? Is the line when they completely go back on every single environmental thing and give gas companies like the green light to burn down forests and put oil in our waters? I mean, I don't know what your line is. What is the line? Is that he goes to war with Canada, Mexico, or anything? What is it? And I think you have to make one. I think at the end of the day, we have to say, okay, if he does this, that's it. So step one, let's all determine that line and state it. State it, make it accountable, say it to people, post it, do it. It's a role modeling example, and we must do it. Why? Because then we have to act when that line is crossed. Because what he feels is that he's just going to cross so many lines that no one's going to act, right? And that's kind of what's happening right now. So, and also I feel like, again, we need to press these Republican people because they didn't vote for this either, right? There's a lot of things they voted for and a lot of things they did not vote for. Like, I don't know if you understand or know, but like Congress basically ceded its power to Elon Musk in an overnight vote like 2 nights ago. Like they have the power of the purse. And, President Trump, for these tariffs, in order to do it, what I'm saying, he had to declare a state of emergency in order to do it. And Congress has the ability to, you know, say whether it actually is a state of emergency or not. And I think one of the rules is like once it takes 15 days, to bring something to the floor once it's declared. And so Democrats were trying to say, okay, let's get it to the floor, what I'm saying, to have people like put an individual vote on these tariffs. And Republicans actually went in and like changed the law or to say something to suggest that like this whole congressional session would be just one day. Like the whole 2 year sessions, they're trying to count as one day. So they won't be forced to follow the 15-day rule to actually go on record to vote for or against tariffs. Because right now, 30% of the current Republican Party that's in office today is anti-tariffs. 30% of them are on record saying they're anti-tariffs, but yet they all are agreeing with Trump's tariffs right now, right? Because and not having to say like specifically whether they will or won't. So I feel had we said to Republicans, what's your line? And they said tariffs, then we were forced to be acting, right? But right now they're just allowing the slope just to continue to go. So that's just step one. Name your line and force other people to name their line. Like with MAGA people, when you talk to them, tell them what is one thing that he would do that would be a broken promise. You should be like, okay, Trump, like that's enough. Ask them that, and then hold them to it. Second part is, what can we do now? Granted, I'm not asking people to change the world. I know a lot of people that just seem to think like, oh, well, unless you have this like full plan that's like vetted out and all the sources and everything are together, like then they just feel like it's not going to work. There were so many naysayers about a lot of these boycotts that were trying to go on for these companies, and it's really disheartening. What I'm saying? But in terms of what to do, all I have to say is make individual efforts. Like, yes, still let's hope that there's the collective efforts, and there are. What I'm saying? Like, let's get this. Let's make sure these collective efforts are going down. Let's support them. But what you need to do is work on your individual self. There are things that we can all do every day that will impact this, because it's all about their money. One, Google who is supporting Project 2025 and who donated to Trump's campaign, and just don't fucking shop there. It's quite simple, right? It makes me think about like what people would do during Nazi times or during civil rights times and during women's suffrage, where these people had to suffer. They were in the street being beaten, killed. They didn't ride buses for months in the hot sun. They didn't shop at certain stores. What I'm saying? It's like it was major. They suffered. But I feel like this generation like doesn't want to suffer. It's just like they don't even want to click a button. They think marching for one day is enough. What I'm saying? Like, but I digress. But what you can do is just change your shopping choices. Like, don't buy Teslas. Should be simple enough. If you have a Tesla, try to get rid of it. If you're thinking of a car in the future, don't buy one. Real simple. Two, try to avoid shopping at places that supported Project 2025 and Trump. Like, try to avoid Walmarts. Try to avoid Hobby Lobbies. What I'm saying? Like, try to avoid Chick-fil-A's. I mean, like, there are things you can do. Now, granted, you may not be able to do it every day. Maybe if you went to Chick-fil-A 3 times a month, maybe reduce it to 1. Maybe if you ordered Amazon like all the time, just try to find those products somewhere else. I mean, not to say that you're not going to get rid of Amazon the whole time. I mean, I wish you would, but like we all, it's a realistic thing, but do something. Participate in a strike. What I'm saying? Participate in some protest. Write some letters of support to your actual Democratic Congress people. They're just little grassroots efforts that you can do on a day-to-day basis that will impact the entire whole and make it a part of your life. Try to make it sustainable. See if you can do without some of those things on a long-term basis. And additionally, there are special elections coming up, right? I can't name all of them off the top of my head, but I believe a Supreme Court election in Wisconsin. There's a congressional election in New York, and I believe there's one in Georgia and one somewhere else. Donate money. Donate money to those campaigns, because literally those are the things that we can do right now. We can't wait for Trump to be out after 4 years. We have to go and support these local elections, because guess what? If we swing 2 of them, we now control Congress. Just 2. And there are some likenesses, like the upset nature of everyone right now. We need to do whatever we can to infiltrate those districts, support, give money, and listen to the people on the ground. Ask them how they can help, how they need help, and you can do it. So hope is not lost. Yes, we can get depressed about this, but 1, declare your line in the sand. 2, force others to do so. 3, hold them to account. And then 4, just do something. Do something. Don't let this thing paralyze you and think that you have to save the world. Just make it easy on yourself. Until next time.